Welcome to Everything Commanders with your host, Dream Team Buddha. Hail to the Commander. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Dream Team Buddha coming back to you with another video, Everything Commanders. Look here, today we finna talk about the top 6 free agents who I think the Washington Commanders should bring back for the 2025 season. Before we get into this video, if you're new to the channel, hit the sub button, support the channel grow. I appreciate you. Let's get into this video. Okay, so the season has came to an end. We already know who won the Super Bowl, and we know who the team to beat is, which is the Philadelphia Eagles. Last year, we had a great season, and now we have something to look forward to going into the new season. We were only one game away from the Super Bowl, and we lost to the best team in the NFL. We have a whole list of free agents that we have of our own that we have to see if we're going to bring them back or we're just going to let them walk. We've watched the whole season of all the new off-season free agent additions, and I pretty much looked at all the free agents, and this is not to say that any free agent we don't bring back shouldn't be brought back to the Commanders. This is just my outlook on who I think we should bring back. This is my top 6 free agents that we currently have on the roster. Well, not technically. That's our free agent. So we're gonna start. Let's start with the offensive side first. And a player that comes to mind right off the jump is and this is not my player I'm saying we should bring back. I'm just saying as far as offense go, we had a lot of players stand out last year. You know, the De'Ami Browns, the Jameson Crowder, along with the kids, Marcus Mariota, Cornelius Lucas, Zach Ertz, John. It's a whole lot of them. My 6 that I would bring back, I'm gonna do 3 offense and I'm gonna do 3 defense. On the offensive side, starting with my first person I bring back, and this is no particular order, and the first person that I would bring back is Cornelius Lucas, of course. Like Cole Luke been a stand-up guy. He's been a stout offensive lineman for us, and he's definitely been there when needed the most. Even when he wasn't needed, he was there to compete and apply pressure to the lineman that we have, whether it's the left tackle or the right tackle. He's like a swing tackle, and he can play either side. And he's been very productive for the Commanders, and he has a lot of value, and I think that we should not let him go, especially with the uncertainty of the offensive line. I'm pretty sure they're going to beef up the offensive line in the offseason, whether it's the draft or free agency or however they want to do it. You can re-sign Cole Luke, and he does not have to be a starter, okay? But we definitely need depth on the offensive line. You see where Sam Cosmi went down in the championship game. Not the championship game, I'm sorry. He went down in the Detroit Lions game, and we did not have him for the championship game. So we were short linemen, and Trent Scott had to come in and kind of like fill in. So you want to make sure you have the depth just in case an injury were to happen. And Cole Luke has been solid. So I would definitely bring Cole Luke back as one of my top 3 free agents as far as offense for the Commanders, and we can just keep this going, and let's move on to number 2. Number 2, I will bring back my guy, Chris Rodriguez Jr. Yes, Chris Rodriguez Jr., the running back. He used to wear number 23. They gave his number to Marshawn Lattimore. I would bring him back, and in this time, I think we should give him a fair shot at competing for a roster spot, not only for a roster spot, but a bigger role in the offense. We all love B-Rob, and I'm not saying kick B-Rob to the curb, because B-Rob, that's my man. But, you know, one thing I learned over the time of being a Commanders fan or a Redskin fan or a Washington football fan is we grow attached to these players, but at the same time, it's all about production on the field. B-Rob started the season off doing great. He had like 8 touchdowns within the first 11 weeks of the season. and he finished the year with only 8 touchdowns, and he didn't go over 1,000 yards because he was hurt. And then when he did come back, he was less effective. He was ineffective when it came to running the ball, and he just wasn't hitting the gaps like the B-Rob we know. And when B-Rob get a full head of steam, that it's hard to tackle him, hard to bring him down. However, to pair with Jaden Daniels, I think that we need an elusive running back, a twitchy running back that can actually, apply pressure to the defenders in the open field. So like Chris Rodriguez had that pop, whereas though he gets the ball, he going north south. Like he ain't none of that moving all around this, that, and the fourth, and juking this, that, and the fourth, going left, right. He is trying to hit the gap, and he's quicker, he's faster. So I would love to bring him back and actually give him a chance. I still do feel like we should draft a running back, but Chris Rodriguez, I don't think we should let him go. I know he's a free agent, but I don't think we should let him go. I think we should bring Chris Rodriguez back and just see what he got. If he don't beat out, say, the Brian Robinson Jr.'s or the Austin Eckler's, or I see we signed Wiley. He was a unrestricted free agent last year, and he was on our practice squad for the whole year. I like him too. But we said top 3, so I'm just going to give you my top 3. I feel like we should give Chris Rodriguez Jr. a chance to compete for a spot on the roster and a bigger role in the offense. Although I only said 3, I'm gonna keep it to 3, but it's more than 3 that I actually would like to bring back. This is just my top 3. Let's move on. I know this guy right here is a old vet, and people probably feeling like we should move on from him, but I don't think we should get rid of him. I think that we should bring him back. He said that he wished that he was younger, and that when he was 22, he wished he was 22 playing with Jaden Daniels when his career started, so that way they could have kind of like grew together and then possibly became this big time tandem. But you can't go back in time and get years back on your life. But he was a weapon for Jaden Daniels this year, and I feel like we should bring back Zach Ertz, at least another 1-year deal, maybe 1-year deal max. Okay, I think his brain and what he brings to the tight end room, that that veteran, that veteran presence, we gonna need that for Ben Sinnott, or if they bring back John Bates, which I think we should bring back John Bates, but I said only 3. But Zach Ertz, the way he go about the game, I think that we need him. He's a leader in the locker room. I think that we're going to need him. Will they draft another tight end? We don't know. I hope that they do, if there's one available, or sign one in free agency. But I think Zach Ertz is the tight end to have on the roster. He's a leader. He's a weapon for Jaden Daniels. And, of course, he's pretty much going to, lose a notch or two. But, we need somebody to continue to build up and groom these young guys, these young tight ends and these young players, what I'm saying, so that way they can be better. Because it's all about what you can get out of a player. Some of these players, they got talent, but sometimes they go certain places to certain teams and they don't actually flourish or grow. All right, so let's move on over to, now, before we move to the defensive side, like I said, this is just my top 3, or the 3 that I'm picking that I feel like they should bring back right away. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they can sign them, or whatever the case may be, negotiate a deal, whatever the case may be. The extent of the deal, I really don't know what it should be. I just feel like they should be on the roster. But one notable mention I would say is De'Ami Brown, if we can. But I don't think De'Ami Brown coming back. I think he's going to think he deserves more. I think he's going to trying to, get more money, because this is his first time getting a contract. This is where he can negotiate, say, a 3-year deal with a team or something like that, and actually get some good money. It won't be much, because he just showed what he can do in the playoffs for his first 3 years, and most part of the season. Had not Noah Brown went down, he wouldn't have gotten the game. So he pretty much going to try to get whatever money he can get because, it's that time of his career. That first check, you want to go for the bag and try to get as much as you possibly can. And once you're a veteran, then you can take the league minimum, like a Zach Ertz or whatever the case may be. So I doubt if we get to bring him back, and I don't know if the team going to bring him back. And of course, I still want to see what Luke McCaffrey going to bring to the table because it's early on in his career and that was just year one. I'm pretty sure he'll get more acclimated in the offense this year coming. So we will see what that looks like. Let's move on over to the defensive side. All right. Moving over to the defensive side. Now I know our defense was trash last year. And I don't want to say trash. I don't actually want to say trash. Let me dial that back. Okay. I know our defense wasn't the best last year, but you have to understand we had a whole lot of free agents on that defensive side, and on the defensive side, it's just like the offensive side. You gotta kind of like be on the same page, whatever the case may be. And Joe Witt, his first year as the lead defensive coordinator, and although we are a defensive minded team because of the coach, we still, man, we was hurting on defense, man. We had JD5 on offense, so we was getting away with a lot of stuff. JD5 make a lot of those problems go away. Like it take your mind and your eye off all the problems, like the O-line play and the lack of weapons at receiver and the lack of a running game. Jaden Daniels had to put the whole offense on his back and carry him. You know what I'm saying? On the defensive side, we don't have a JD5. Now, over the years, we've been drafting defensive linemen and defensive tackle. We had a stack, quote unquote, a great front seven. Whereas though, front four, we had Deron Payne. We still got Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Chase Young, and Montez Sweat. However, we broke the band up. You know what I'm saying? We had traded off Chase Young. We traded off Montez Sweat, and we were just left with Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. Excuse me. And Jonathan Allen got injured this year in the Ravens game, and he partially tore his pec, and he wasn't able to come back until the playoffs. Now, I feel like Jonathan Allen, we needed him. You know what I'm saying? We definitely needed his presence because it was games where Deron Payne went missing. But it's not all on Deron Payne. Although my only issue is we paying him so much money that I feel like we should be getting more out of him. You know what I'm saying? Like we see what Jalen Carter doing. But at the end of the day, take that with a grain of salt because you got to look at it like this. In order for them guys to be effective, you got to they got to play as a unit. And if you ain't got greatness across the line like the Eagles do, people not going to look as good as you would want them to be. So you got to surround the people with the right people, or you got to get the right type of play out of your peers in order for you to be great. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what their assignments were, and we was pretty much handicapped. We had nobody on the back end. We had Benjamin St. Juice in the secondary, and Emmanuel Forbes. So it put a lot of stress on the defensive line, and our defensive line they ain't built like that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Jonathan Allen coming to the end of his career. He probably still can play or whatever the case may be. I still feel like he still got something left in the tank. He got 1 year left on his deal. So, hopefully we'll see him play for a contract this year, maybe a 2-3 year deal contract this coming season. He's going to try to ball out. I'm pretty sure he's going to make the team because I know they're going to make him compete no matter if he's a veteran or not, or they may trade him. I don't know. Adam Peters is one of the ones that's you just don't know. He's great at holding, not showing his cards. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what he's going to do. I'm not sure what the value would be for Jonathan Allen, but I'm pretty sure it'll be something. It just wouldn't be as substantial as it would be it hadn't been early on in his career. Deron Payne, hopefully we get a whole lot more out of him, and then, Johnny Newton. But anyway, on the defensive side, the first person that I would like to bring back is Jeremy Chinn. Jeremy Chinn played his ass off, okay? He played his tail off this season. He looked like the Jeremy Chinn of his rookie season where he was up for the defensive rookie of the year, but Chase Young won it. Okay, my Commanders, well, Washington football team at the time, Chase Young had won defensive rookie of the year, and what were we, Washington football team? Whatever the case may be, whatever the name was, we won defensive rookie of the year because of Chase Young, but he was in the running for it. And the last 2 years after that, he pretty much was like subpar. But when he came here last year, they were using him in ways that he should have been used in Carolina. So he looked real good last year. So it was great to have Jeremy Chin on the roster and what he was doing. I feel like as the weeks progressed and as time went on, he was giving everything he had, and he was taking the team up. You know what I'm saying? So I actually liked his play, and I think that we should most definitely bring him back for, I don't know what it'd be, like 1 or 2 years, 3 years. Like I said, AP, you know what I'm saying? We don't know how he's going to do things, but I definitely think that we should bring him back. If we draft another safety or however you want to do it, we need to bring Jeremy Chin back. Wouldn't you say that his play was great? I think his play was great. Let's move on with my number 2. If my second player, like I said, there's no particular order, but these are just defensive players that I would like to bring back. There's 3 of them, my top 3. All right, so let's get to Dante Fowler Jr. He had a great year rushing the passer. Now, he kind of went missing the last end of the season and into the playoffs. He kind of like went missing. I will say that. But he still gave us 10.5 sacks. Okay? We ain't had a defensive end give us that much value at the position in years. Chase Young ain't never give us double-digit sacks. Montez Sweat ain't give us double-digit sacks. Yeah, Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen gave us double-digit sacks, but no pass rusher outside of Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen hasn't given us 10-plus sacks. What, since Ryan Kerrigan? So he had a great year, and we had him on a veteran deal, like a 1-year deal. So I think we should bring him back. Now, him starting and him being the main guy, that's not how I like to see Dante Fowler. I think he's more of a third down guy, you know what I'm saying, where as though he could just pin his ears back, get to the quarterback. When it comes to trying to stop the run, I don't think that's his strength, We still have Dorrance Armstrong from the Cowboys the previous season, and now he's a commander, but I think Dante Fowler he should come back. If he's the third option, out of the DNs, whether it's left or right, I think we should use him more like us using Luvu. I think Dante Fowler Jr. should be back. He had a great year. Could have been better? Yes, but I think he had one of his best seasons ever. When he first came out in the draft and declared for the NFL, and everything didn't go right. You know what I'm saying? It's like he had to grow up, or he just wasn't getting the production that everybody thought he was going to get, because he was a top pick. You know what I'm saying? But things happened the way they happened, and everything happened for a reason. He wound up in Washington with Dan Quinn, came over from Dallas, and he had a great year last season for the 2024 season. All right, moving on to my last free agent, and that would be my guy, Bobby Wagner. It's no way we cannot mess this up. We have to bring Bobby Wagner. It's no way we go into the season or to this off season without a deal for Bobby Wagner. It could be another 1-year deal. Because we already know that, he about to retire soon. So him and Jaden Daniels, their relationship is like, it's so great, because he actually helping Jaden Daniels elevate and teaching him how to be a pro. And, he just been monumental in Jaden Daniels' development, And it's a couple other players like the Marcus Mariotas and stuff like that actually played a monumental role. Like I said already, I already said Zach Ertz. He played a big role in Jaden Daniels' progression, whatever the case may be. But Bobby Wagner, he was the anchor of the defense. Like, he was the brain, you know. And I know, like I said, the defense wasn't the best, but we need to bring Bobby Wagner back so he could continue to groom the likes of a Jordan McGee, or if they draft another linebacker, or sign another linebacker in free agency. I know they got Hampton. We didn't get much out of Hampton because Hampton was injured for the most part of the season. But Bobby Wagner can still play. He can still play. It's just that we need to win in the trenches. We need to get that defensive line solidified, whether no matter who it's going to be, so that way it can make the linebackers' job easier. They're supposed to eat up those blocks so the linebackers can run free and make tackles. Okay? But everybody was killing us on the edge this year, and it made Bobby Wagner look all old and slow because he had to run sideline to sideline. I think we should bring back Bobby Wagner because we need his brain. Am I saying we need to sign somebody else or bring Bobby Wagner back and don't sign nobody else? I'm saying we could bring Bobby Wagner back on a 1-year deal and still sign somebody else. Still draft another linebacker if we can. I'm not saying that's the end all be all. I'm saying we have to have that brain on that defense. He's like a coach on the field. Until Jordan McGee or whoever we going to have develop, then he definitely need to be back. He definitely need to be back. He had a great season. I think it was 13 straight years with over 100 tackles or something like that. The boy been like that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't lost a step. Yeah, he may have took a step back a little bit. I ain't going to hold you. I might be slicing it. He might take a little step back, but a half a step, not a whole step. We definitely need to bring Bobby Wagner back. Bring him back for 1 year. That's what I'm saying. So I gave you my top 3 on offense and defense. On offense, as I stated, the first person I would forget about the order. I would rather bring back Zach Ertz, Chris Rodriguez, and also I would like to bring back Cornelius Lucas on the offensive side. And on the defensive side, I want to bring back Dante Fowler Jr. I want to bring back Jeremy Chin. And I also want to bring back Bobby Wagner. We got to have those 6 people on this roster going into training camp. If they make the team or not, that's up in the air. But they need to be on this roster. Yeah, they got to earn a spot. Of course, I don't care if they're a vet or not. They got to earn a spot. But I think that we should be giving them guys at least a 1-year deal. I know a couple of them going to want more, like Jeremy Chin probably want a 2-year deal or something like that. Or Fowler Jr. may want a 3-year deal, 3-year deal. I don't know how it's going to work. We're going to let Adam Peters do him, let him be who he is. But those 6 guys, I think that we should bring back for the 2025 season. Yes. So if you enjoyed this video gave you value, do me a favor, hit that sub button. Hit like on the video and let me know what y'all think. Let me know who y'all think we should bring back. If it was 6 players, if you can only pick 6 players. Now, I know we got about 25 free agents. If you could pick 6 players, who would your 6 players be? Split 3 on offense, 3 on defense. Let me know who your 6 players would be. I told you my 6 players. And drop it down in the comments and let's actually have a conversation and let's talk about it because this will be a very exciting and fun off season and I cannot wait. The new league start, the combine coming up, the everything starts in March. I think the combine is at the end of February, early March, and then the new league starts in March. So, man, we off and running in the off season. So, yeah, just let me know. Who would your 6 people be? Who would your 6 players be to bring back for the Commanders? Also, if you haven't already, like I said, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Shout out to all my new viewers. Welcome to the channel. All my Commanders fans, I don't know what you're waiting for because we locked in. We locked in, baby. We locked in for the foreseeable future. We're going to go crazy. We going up this year. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And like I always say, left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders. That's going to do it for your boy. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Let's get it.